Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Hare Krishna. So we'll read today from Srimad Bhagavatam. So we'll chant the invocation verse. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudire Nasta Prayesha Vabhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Yatama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtiki. Hare Krishna. Welcome to our glorious celebration of Lord Balaram Jayanti. Anybody is here for the first time celebrating Lord Balaram Jayanti? Congratulations. Welcome. So, by the unlimited mercy of Srila Prabhupada, we have come to understand, and we will hopefully by the end of today's discussion come to understand the great fortune of celebrating Lord Balaram Jayanti. Normally, we become very accustomed to celebrating Janmashtami, maybe Ram Navami, Lord Nrsimha Chaturdasi. But actually, when we understand what Srila Prabhupada has taught us through our Shastra, we see that to fully experience the blessings of Shri Krishna Janmashtami, we must first receive the blessings of Lord Balaram. And so it's very appropriate that we celebrate Lord Balaram Jayanti 8 days before Janmashtami. So it gives us ample time to understand the significance of Lord Balaram in our life, and specifically in our devotional life, and how he plays a very instrumental role in our progress in devotional service. So that is what we'll discuss today. If we look at our life, we have only one goal. And what's our goal? But why do we want to go to Godhead? To be happy. To be happy. We are all searching for one thing, to be happy. And actually, as we see in the world, love is the key to happiness. You can have all of the material accoutrements, all of the wealth and fame and beauty and opulence, but if it's not accompanied by loving exchanges with others, it won't result in the happiness we desire. So this love is the key to happiness in life. And actually, that is the intrinsic nature of the soul. You don't need to. I speak loud enough. Love is the intrinsic nature of the soul that lies dormant within all of us. And Srila Prabhupada explains to us very beautifully in the preface to the Nectar of Devotion that actually all we are in search of is where to repose this love in a way that gives us this happiness and perfection of life that we are searching for. And the conclusion is that when we learn to love the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Lord Shri Krishna, then and only then will our loving propensity be satisfied, and that we will find this real happiness and peace that we are searching for. We love so many things. We have our iPhones, we have our houses, our families, our cars, our nations, our jobs, all these things. But we know all of that is temporary. And thus the result from that love is also temporary. But did anybody wants temporary happiness? No, we want permanent. So this love must be reposed to the permanent, to the eternal. the Supreme Eternal, and that is Lord Shri Krishna. And the beauty of spiritual life is that when we learn to love Krishna, then all these other things, all these other objects of our love also become fulfilled. It is not that by loving Krishna, I abandon all these other objects of my love. My family, my society, my possessions. No. But by loving Krishna, we enrich these relationships. And Prabhupada gives a very wonderful example of this. He says that when you water the roots of the tree, what is nourished? Everything. Every single branch of the tree is nourished. By pouring water downwards into the roots, you actually nourish every branch of the tree. Like that, when we get to the root, the source of all existence, the Supreme Lord, and when we nourish that relationship, then actually all of our other relationships also become nourished and fulfilled. So it is not like when you water the roots, you abandon the branches. Similarly, when we learn to love Krishna, actually that is how we will learn to love everyone. And that is how we will experience this bliss and happiness. And so how to experience this love for Krishna? How to bring it out? Chanting, yes. Reading books. We need someone to teach us how to do it. And that teacher, the supreme teacher, is Lord Balaram. Lord Balaram plays this very instrumental role in showing us how to awaken this love. Because this love is the innate potential of every living entity. Every soul. It has only one eternal activity. And that is loving Krishna. It has only that activity. But we have tried experimenting with so many other activities. And what has been the result of those other activities? Some happiness, but mostly distress and unfulfilled desires. So Lord Balaram is here to awaken this inner potential that we all have. And that's why he is very, very important in our process of devotional service. So let us read one verse from Srimad Bhagavatam. This is from Canto 10, verse number 24 of chapter 1. Again, Canto 10, chapter 1, verse number 24. Vasudeva kalananta sahasra vadana swara agato bhavata devo hare priya chidikshaya. Translation. The foremost manifestation of Krishna is Sankarsana, who is known as Ananta. He is the origin of all incarnations within this material world. Previous to the appearance of Lord Krishna, this original Sankarsana will appear as Baladeva, just to please the Supreme Lord Krishna in his transcendental purports. Transcendental pastimes, excuse me. Now the transcendental purport of His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Prabhupada writes, Sri Baladev is the Supreme Personality of Godhead Himself. He is equal in supremacy to the Supreme Godhead. Yet, whenever Krishna appears, Sri Baladev appears as his brother, sometimes elder and sometimes younger. When Krishna appears, all his plenary expansions and other incarnations appear with him. This is elaborately explained in Chaitanya Charitamrita. This time, Baladev would appear before Krishna as Krishna's elder brother. Om Jnana Timirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshuru Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeyam Shri Guru Shri Yuddha Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavanscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunatam Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Saitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sagana Lalita Shri Vishakan Vitamscha Hey Krishna Karuna Sindhu Deenabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Haripriye Vanchakalpa Tudubhyascha Krupa Sindhu Bevacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namah Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prastaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gaudavani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavani Paschatya Deshatarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. So let us see now how Lord Balaram plays this critical role in awakening this dormant love for the Supreme Lord, by which we'll then attain the perfection of life, ultimate peace and happiness, not only for ourselves, but for all those around us as well. So we'll talk about four things today. Now, four things that are here. Who is Lord Balaram? We'll talk about that and define. Srila Prabhupada gives us some wonderful statements here, and we'll discuss that in a little bit more detail. We'll discuss how Lord Balaram shows us the mood of service, how to render our service. Being an Acharya, his actions are actually very instructive for us. And then we'll discuss maybe some pastimes of Lord Balaram, where we can learn from his pastimes very important instructions. And then finally, we'll learn and discuss a little bit about what the meaning of the name Balaram means, and also the significance of his plow, and how we can pray to that plow for all of us. Okay, so hopefully we'll, in the time we have allotted, we'll get through these four things. So just a brief overview of the appearance of Lord Balaram. So this discussion is taking place in the 10th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam. Here, Shukadev Goswami is explaining in elaborate detail the pastimes of Lord Krishna. All of his pastimes. And the pastimes constitute 4 volumes. So much detail is given. And in the first 2 volumes, we see many activities between Krishna and Balaram. And then, of course, in the 3rd and 4th volumes, we also see different pastimes. But there are many, many elaborate pastimes discussed. And in the beginning, this chapter was entitled The Advent of Lord Krishna. So, we know that Devaki has been imprisoned by who? Kamsa. And Kamsa is who in relation to Devaki? Brother is imprisoned sister? What is going on here? We know something is awry. And we know that Kamsa heard a transcendental sound saying that who was going to kill him? 8th son of Devaki. So Kamsa, not wanting to take any chances, what did he do to the first 6 sons of Kamsa? 6 sons of, actually it is the 6 sons of Kamsa, we'll discuss that in a second, but what did he do to the first 6 sons of Devaki? What kind of brother is this? So actually, those 6 sons had a prior birth, who were actually the sons of the demon Kalanemi, and actually the grandsons of Hiranyakashipu and the sons of Kalanemi. And there, because of some pastimes, we won't get into the details, they were cursed to be killed by their own father. And so these 6 sons reappear through the womb of Devaki and are killed by Kamsa, actually. But these 6 sons have very important positions. They are the 6 enemies of the mind. The enemies of the mind are lust, anger, greed, pride, envy, and illusion. Imagine a society in which there is no anger. Anybody wants to live in such a society? Where there is no greed. You would never have to lock your doors because nobody is greedy enough to take what's not theirs. No lust. No envy. No illusion. Everybody sees things as they are. No pride. So these are not only enemies of our own minds, they're enemies of the world around us. So, Devaki, in her purification process, Srila Prabhupada writes, is becoming fearful of Kamsa, like one becomes fearful of the material allurements. And by having appropriate level of fear of the material world, one is able to detach and kill these 6 enemies that reside within our mind and our heart. So anyways, so these 6 sons have been killed. So, now Lord Balaram is the eternal son. The eternal mother of Lord Balaram is who? Mother Rohini. Mother Rohini is the eternal mother of Lord Balaram. But we know Lord Balaram first appears in the womb of Mother Devi. And Srila Prabhupada writes in one of the purports in the later chapter that Lord Balaram appeared. Why in the womb of Devaki? To prepare the place for Krishna's arrival. And this is very, very important for us. Who then can prepare us for the arrival of Krishna Prema in our heart? Lord Balaramji. Lord Balaramji prepared the womb of Mother Devaki for Krishna to appear. And so this gives us very important understanding. But after Lord Balaram appeared in the womb of Devaki, by the instruction of Krishna to Yogamaya, Yogamaya transferred Lord Balaram to the womb of Mother Rohini, who was staying in Nandagram, not Nandagram actually at that time, staying in Gokul, but staying in the house of Nanda Maharaj, somewhat in hiding. And there Balaram regained his eternal relationship with his mother. And then he appears. So this is the little bit of the background of Lord Balaram's appearance. And we know that Lord Balaram is the elder brother to Krishna. We'll discuss in a little bit why he is the elder brother. Okay? So who is Lord Balaram? You just said he is the elder brother. But Srila Prabhupada makes a very important statement. Well, first let's read the statement in the verse. And Shukadev Goswami says, he is the origin of all incarnations within this material world. So, and then in the first sentence of this, he says, the foremost manifestation of Krishna is Sankarshana. So Krishna's first expansion is Lord Balaram. And from Lord Balaram, all other incarnations come. How many incarnations are there? Unlimited. Just as you cannot count the number of waves in an ocean, we cannot count the number of incarnations of Krishna. Yes, we know Dasa avatars. That is like a sampling, just to give us an example. But that is just a fraction. And all of those incarnations, they come from, at least through Lord Balaram. So Krishna expands himself first as Lord Balaram, and then from Lord Balaram expands Lord Narayan, the quadruple expansions, another Lord Narayan, quadruple, like this, all the details given in Srimad Bhagavatam. But very important, we should remember, who is the source of all incarnations? Lord Balaram. And Prabhupada says here in the purport, Sri Baladev is the Supreme Personality of Godhead Himself. Anybody is surprised to hear this statement? Yeah, right? Because Srila Prabhupada, by His unlimited mercy, has embedded in our consciousness, who is the Supreme Personality of Godhead? Lord Krishna. Because of this, there is so much debate, discussion, for no need, because our Shastra is extremely clear and abundantly precise that Lord Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So now how we can see Sri Baladev is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, we should understand. Because, as Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami explains in Chaitanya Charitamrita, in the Adi Leela, 5th chapter, particularly the first 5 verses, and particularly in verse 5, he says that Krishna and Balaram are non-different. They are equal in potency. They have the same potency. If two objects have the same potency, the same energy, the same composition, then they are by definition the same, scientifically. So actually they're not. The only difference, one is whitish complexion, one is blackish complexion. So actually Lord Balaram is also the Supreme Personality of God. We should not think in terms of higher and lower. We may celebrate Shri Krishna Janmashtami with more vigor, but actually we should see that we should celebrate Lord Balaram Jayanti with more enthusiasm, so that we may celebrate Lord Shri Krishna Janmashtami with more success. Okay, so this is who Lord Balaram is. And the third aspect of who is Lord Balaram is, he is Adi Guru. Everything that we have learned in life, we have needed a teacher. Nothing we have learned without some teacher. In the early days, it's our mother, our father. Then it becomes our school teachers. Maybe some classmates teach us things we shouldn't learn, and vice versa. Then, we go to university. But we're always taking knowledge from teachers. So how are we going to learn the process of devotional service to awaken this love that is going to give us the perfection of life? We also need Guru in our life. And that original first Guru, the Adi Guru, is Lord Balaram. The spiritual master is actually representative of Lord Balaram. So all the knowledge we receive through Guru Parampara, it originates from Lord Balaram. So he plays a very, very critical role in our devotional service. Without Guru in our life, we have no hope to make progress in the path of devotional service. And without Lord Balaram, the Guru Parampara has no potency. It all is coming from Lord Balaram. So we offer our gratitude to Lord Balaram for manifesting this great potency so that we can make progress in devotional service. And how Lord Balaram plays the role of Guru also is very important. Srila Prabhupada was once asked by his disciples, what is the role, the duty of the spiritual master? And Srila Prabhupada simply said, the duty of the spiritual master is to serve Lord Krishna. And what is the duty of the disciple of the spiritual master? To assist the Guru in service to Krishna. So how Lord Balaram is, the position of Adi Guru is also very significant. Because Lord Balaram has a very unique feature, that he serves Krishna in all 5 rasas.
There are 5 primary relationships one can have in service to Krishna. One can serve Krishna in neutrality, being the various objects and things that Krishna uses to enjoy. One can serve him in this rasa of dasya, of servant. One can serve him in sakya, as a friend, giving Krishna happiness. One can serve Krishna in the parental, vatsalya rasa, mother and father, giving Krishna happiness. And one can serve Krishna in the madhurya, the conjugal loving relationship, giving Krishna happiness. And what is the common denominator in all 5 rasas? Giving Krishna happiness. That is the mood of service. The mood of service is what I give to Krishna. And when one serves in that selfless spirit, meaning unmotivated, not I will do if. Stop it, I will do. Cancel everything else. When one serves in that way, actually whatever we define by if, whatever we may concoct of thinking, oh, I want this or that, actually when one serves in a purely selfless spirit, one obtains more than what one can concoct with their own mind or dream up. Krishna is so pleased by this selfless service. So Lord Balaram is serving in all 5 rasas in a very unique way. He serves in this neutrality, by expanding himself as the spiritual world. Goloka Dham is an expansion of Lord Balaram. His flute that Krishna enjoys playing and that all the devotees enjoy hearing is an expansion of Lord Balaram. His crown, jewels, everything, all the paraphernalia of Krishna that he enjoys is an expansion of Lord Balaram. So that is one way in which Lord Balaram serves Krishna. He serves Krishna through dasyaras, by serving him, by massaging his feet and taking care of him in different ways, acting as his servant. Though he's the elder brother, he takes this servant role to the Supreme Lord. He serves him as his friends. You might have remembered a very wonderful picture of holding hands, shoulder to shoulder, and running through the forest, followed by all the cowherd boys. Lord Balaram is giving so much pleasure to Krishna through the relationship of friendship. Of course, he's elder brother. What is the role of elder brother to younger brother? Keep him out of trouble. Did Balaram do a good job of keeping Lord Krishna out of trouble? No. Right? Krishna is always getting in trouble. But he plays the role of trying to protect Krishna by guiding him. Don't do this, do this. When Mother Yashoda had binded Krishna in a grinding mortar, he told Krishna, I told you, you shouldn't be going to everybody's house and stealing butter and doing all this. This is the result. Now you're bound and you are stuck. And you have created great anger from Mother Yashoda. So like this, sometimes he plays the parental guiding us. And he also plays the conjugal, the loving rasa, by and through an expansion as Ananga Manjari, the younger sister of Srimati Radharani. That is also Lord Balaram. So in this way, the main point is that Lord Balaram is serving Krishna in full capacity, in all different rasas. And this is the only activity of the spirit soul. This is our only activity, which is to serve Krishna. And when we do, then we will find this perfection of life. And that is what Lord Balaram, through his own actions, is showing us. And not only one-dimensional, but he is doing it across 5 dimensions. Yes, we may not be so potent, but we can try in one relationship as best we can. The different pastimes of Lord Balaram are very, very instructive. Like Krishna, who enjoyed fighting with many demons in Vrindavan, Lord Balaram also did so.
But Bhaktivinoda Thakur explains to us that these killing of demons, they're actually extraordinarily instructive pastimes for us. Because each of them have a particular purport, particular impurity within the heart, the anartha, that by studying that pastime we also kill within each of us. And if you're interested in more information, I guide you to Sri Nandanandan Prabhu's website, who has very exquisitely explained every pastime of the killing the demons and all the different anarthas. He has summarized this very, very beautifully in a wonderful table. So thank you, Prabhu, for giving us that resource. But specifically, the two demons that Lord Balaram is famous for killing, Pralambasura and Dhenukasura. The destroying of Pralambasura is the destroying of the lustful potency within the heart. And the killing of Dhenukasura destroys the ignorance within the heart. And we can see Lord Balaram's attacking two very important obstacles for us. The ignorance of who am I? And what is my actual duty, my actual occupation? That by studying the pastime of killing of Dhenukasura, we help to make progress in destroying our own ignorance. Of course, Dhenukasura is the ass demon, not the symbol of most intelligence, actually the symbol of stupidity. It's just descriptive, not being derogatory. And so studying that pastime gives us this great experience. Similarly, Pralambasura destroys the lustful nature within the heart. And so we don't have time to discuss these pastimes, but you can read them and understand how Lord Balaram is helping us overcome these two impurities. There are a couple of interesting pastimes that take place on Balaram Jayanti Day. One of them is the subduing of Kaliyama. Okay? So on this day, Krishna had gone to the forest without Lord Balaram. And so why? Because it was Lord Balaram's appearance day, so he was stuck at home entertaining all the different rituals that were taking place. But Lord Balaram plays a very sweet role in this pastime. When he gets to the shores, at this point, word has reached Vrindavan that Krishna has been subdued by a giant serpent who has poisoned the Yamuna. And all the residents became overwhelmed with fear and anxiety that their beloved Krishna had become subdued by a giant serpent. How giant? 101 principal heads and many more beyond that. And so when the residents of Vrindavan reached the banks of Yamuna, they behold the sight. And Krishna is bound up by the hoods and by the body of this giant serpent. And they are in distress, anxiety. And what is Lord Balaram's mood? He is laughing. He is smiling. And he says, this Krishna, he never plays with me in my Sheshanag form, but he's playing with this regular old serpent. How can that be? And so he becomes quite amused. And then Lord Balaram, being the ever pot stirrer, he sees Nanda Baba, Mother Yashoda, they're described as like standing like corpses, about to die. So much anxiety. And so what does he do? Alleviate their fear. Oh, Krishna, Baba, Mama, they'll be okay. Don't worry, Krishna. He says, oh, wow, look what's happening to Krishna. Oh my God, I hope he's safe. And he starts to egg on and add to the anxiety and fear of the residents of Vrindavan. And Srila Prabhupada comments in this. Why he's doing that? It seems mean, right? Why he's adding to the fear of the devotees. He should be reducing the fear. But actually, the pure devotees of the Lord, even the experience of fear is transcendental. Because when they become fearful of this situation, their love for Krishna intensifies.
They become more emboldened in their love for Krishna. And so Lord Balaram is offering these comments, not to, play jokes or to be evil, but to actually to intensify the love. Because this is the role of Lord Balaram. He's always there to intensify our love for Krishna. So in this pastime you see the Brahma Vihovan Lila, where Lord Brahma steals the calves and cowherd boys, also took place on this Balaram Jayanti day. So again, we won't discuss that. As Srila Prabhupada writes in the purport, that Krishna appears, then Lord Balaram always appears. Sometimes his elder brother, sometimes his younger brother. So earlier I referenced elder brother, right? So now we know that Krishna is the elder brother. Balaramji is the elder brother. But in a prior appearance, Lord Balaram, when Lord Ramchandra appeared, was Lord Balaram there? As Lakshmana. And Lakshmana was younger or elder? Younger brother. Yes. When Gauranga Mahaprabhu appears, does Lord Balaram appear? As Nityananda. Elder or younger? Elder. So 2 elder, 1 younger. Something must have happened. What happened? Well, Lakshman, we know, is the epitome of selfless service. When Lord Ram was banished to the forest, 14 years, did Lakshman say, I'll keep the palace warm for you while you're gone? Write to me often, let me know what's happening on the forest. Don't worry, I'll keep the place clean for you. What did he say? I'm going with you. Think about that. Giving up all the comforts of royal life to live as a mendicant in the forest. That was Lakshman's mood. And when Lord Ramchandra said no, what did he say? I'm coming anyways. He was determined. This is the mood of a devotee. They are not looking and concerned about their own comforts, about what they are gaining or losing. They're simply concerned on the Supreme Lord. And so Lakshman gave up everything and rendered service. And how much service he rendered? A little bit? 24/7. All the time. He didn't eat or drink for 14 years. He didn't sleep even. Because why? He was engaged in serving his beloved Lord. Everything that needed to be attended to. He was such an expert servant. But in this servant, one person was disappointed. And who was that? Mother Sita. Why? Because every time she wanted to render some service to Lord Ram, who had already completed the service? She wanted to fetch, already done. She already done. Every time she was subdued by the selfless effort of Lakshmana in serving his beloved Ram. So she filed a complaint. I have a complaint. And Lord Ram said, okay, what's your complaint? He said, your Lakshman's doing all this service, and now he's in a tough position. Brother, wife, how to get in the middle of this? If I take the side of brother, wife will be mad. If I take the side of wife, brother will be mad. I don't know what to do. Let's go to Guru. That's what intelligent people do. So they went and submitted their discussion to the Guru. And they said, okay, you do this. Whatever seva needs to happen inside the home is the realm of Mother Sita. Whatever needs to happen outside the home is the realm of Lakshmana. That way it's black and white, nobody tripping over, stepping on each other's toes. And in this way, both can be engaged in service. Sounds like a good proposition? So Mother Sita was happy because she got some service. But Lakshmana, he was happy? No, half his service went away. He's thinking, I lost half my service. But still he continued rendering devotional service. And he had to endure some of the most difficult of service. You know, we know when Lord Ramchandra was lured away by the golden deer, Lord Ram gave Lakshmana one order, and that was,
Don't leave Mother Sita. And so he didn't. Until Mother Sita said, Ram is in trouble, go see him. But she went further. And she laid very heavy words on the ears of Lord Ram, saying, you are not going to see Lord Ram because you want to enjoy me for yourself. That was like crushing to Lakshman. Lakshman was such a humble servant of even Mother Sita, that when Lord Ram showed Mother Sita's ring to him and said, is this Mother Sita's? What did he say? I don't know. Ram said, how could you not know your sister-in-law's ring? You are not doing your duty. And Lakshman said, I'm sorry, my lord. I have never seen anything but her feet. This was the mood of Lakshman. Yet he had to endure these painful words, saying that, oh, you want to enjoy me, and thus you're not going to save your brother Ram. So Lakshman had no choice but to disobey even the orders of his brother and go save him. Of course, he was not in trouble. We know what ensued. The whole Ramayana kicks off from there. But Lord Lakshman had to endure that. Even after the battle, everything was conquered. Ravan was defeated. Then Lakshman had to do what? Because Lord Ram said to Mother Sita, I cannot accept you because you have stayed under the care of another man. Mother Sita was devastated. She asked Lakshman to bring the wood to establish the funeral pyre. Lakshman said, you want me to bring the wood that you were going to? Cannot do. But Lord Ram said, please do. And he did. And then Mother Sita said, light it. And Lakshman said, are you serious? And he did that service. Of course, there's transcendental reasons for all of this. But the key point is in selfless service. One forgoes all of what they want to do. And they do as they are guided and instructed by the authority. This is the mood of selfless service. And Lord Balaram is teaching us through his activities as Lakshman. But Lakshman said after this series of episodes, he said, you know what? I am done being younger brother. No more. Now, next time I'm coming, I'm going to be the older brother. Nobody's going to tell me what to do. I'm the elder one. I get to dictate it. And that is why he comes back as Lord Balaram. Of course, we know many other reasons why, but one of the principal reasons. So, many pastimes like this. I'll just conclude with the short discussion, the meaning of Balaram. Bala means strength. And any of us need spiritual strength to overcome the obstacles that we face in devotional service? Okay, good, so not just me. We face so many challenges. We face the challenges of our own mind. We face the challenges of things around us, of the illusory energy. So who is the giver of strength to overcome those challenges? It is Lord Balaram. How strong is Lord Balaram? He once almost dragged Hastinapur into the Ganges with his plow. As his expansion of Anantashesh, millions of universes are sitting on his head. And it doesn't accumulate as much as we feel a piece of dust, a particle on our head. That's how strong he is. So when we go to him and pray for our spiritual strength, is there any obstacle we cannot overcome? He is the source of all spiritual strength. And he carries a plow. And this plow is meant, as a plow is used to cultivate the field, to prepare it for the crop to be planted and grown. Similarly, the heart needs to be prepared to receive the Supreme Lord. And this plow is meant to cultivate the heart, to remove all the weeds, the anarthas,
the impediments in our process of devotional service. Yes, that plowing sometimes is a little painful. Acknowledge. It hurts a little bit. But it is for our benefit, our blessing, our opportunity. And so Lord Balaram carries his plow, not to drag Hastinapur into the river, or to bring Yamuna closer to him when he's performing his own Rasa Leela pastime, but primarily to use, to cultivate, to prepare each of our hearts to receive the mercy of the Lord. So this is Lord Balaram. So important for us in our process of devotional service. We're so blessed that Srila Prabhupada has explained all of this to us in his books so that we can appreciate the role of Lord Balaram in our process. And we pray to Lord Balaram for his blessings and mercy as Adi Guru, as the Supreme Personality of Godhead, as the carrier of the plow to prepare our hearts, and as the giver of strength to overcome all the obstacles we may encounter in devotional service. And we pray to him for his mercy so that we may make progress in our ultimate and only real activity of life, that is loving the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Lord Balaram Jayanti Mahotsav ki, Srila Prabhupada ki, Ananta Koti Vaishnavrinda ki. Hare Krishna.